Imagine becoming one of the most famous footballers in Brazil without actually playing football. Imagine signing contracts with some of the biggest clubs in South America, Gary, posing for newspaper photos, training alongside legendary players, earning a professional footballer's salary, yet spending your entire career trying to avoid stepping onto the pitch. It sounds impossible, but for nearly 2 decades, one man pulled off the greatest deception football has ever seen. His name was Carlos Kaiser. And this is the unbelievable true story of the footballer who fooled everyone. Carlos Henrique Raposo was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Like millions of Brazilian children, he dreamed of becoming a professional footballer. But there was one problem. Carlos simply wasn't good enough. He loved the lifestyle. He loved the fame, he loved the attention, but he didn't actually love playing football. Most people would have given up. Carlos came up with something much bigger. If he couldn't become a football star, he would simply convince everyone that he already was. And somehow, it worked. Carlos had one secret weapon. He was incredibly charismatic. He made friends easily, especially with professional footballers. Soon, he was spending time with some of Brazil's biggest stars. People assumed that if all these famous players respected Carlos, he must be an exceptional footballer too. His reputation grew without anyone actually seeing him play. Before long, clubs started calling. One club became interested, then another. Soon, Carlos had signed contracts with some of Brazil's biggest teams, including Flamengo, Botafogo, Fluminense, Vasco da Gama, and several other clubs throughout his career. Every manager believed they had discovered a hidden gem. Every fan expected a future superstar. But Carlos had one mission: never play. Whenever training became serious, he suddenly picked up an injury, a pulled muscle, a hamstring strain, a mysterious back problem. Sometimes he disappeared for weeks, claiming he needed treatment. When he finally returned, the cycle simply started all over again. If there was any chance he might actually be selected for a match, another injury appeared. But fake injuries weren't his only trick. Carlos understood psychology better than football. In the 1980s, mobile phones were almost unheard of. Yet Carlos often carried one, pretending to receive transfer calls from clubs around the world. He would act as though European teams wanted him. Mexican clubs wanted him. Argentinian clubs wanted him. Managers believed other clubs were fighting for his signature. Ironically, that only made them value him even more. He also surrounded himself with famous footballers, nightclubs, parties, exclusive events. If legendary Brazilian stars accepted Carlos as one of their own, why would any club question him? His greatest talent wasn't football. It was making people believe exactly what they wanted to believe. Then one day, everything almost collapsed. A coach finally decided it was time for Carlos to play. There was nowhere left to hide. As the fans cheered and Carlos warmed up near the touchline, he suddenly started arguing with supporters behind the goal. The argument quickly escalated. The referee stepped in, and before the match had even begun, Carlos received a red card. He had been sent off without ever touching the ball. Somehow, he escaped once again. Years passed. Managers changed. Clubs changed. Football evolved. Eventually, people began asking questions. How had Carlos spent so many years at professional clubs? Without memorable performances, without goals, without statistics, without anyone remembering him actually playing? Little by little, the truth emerged. Carlos Kaiser had built an entire football career on confidence, friendships, timing, and unbelievable acting. Some people called him a fraud. Others called him a genius. Even today, his story remains one of the most unbelievable tales football has ever seen. Carlos himself once admitted something that perfectly summed up his extraordinary career. I wanted to be a footballer, but I didn't want to play football. Whether you see him as the greatest con man in football history or one of the smartest manipulators the sport has ever known, there's no denying one thing. Nobody has ever fooled football quite like Carlos Kaiser. So here's the question. Could something like this ever happen in modern football? Or was Carlos Kaiser truly one of a kind? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy incredible football stories like this, subscribe to 90-Minute Stories, because football has produced many legends, but only one Carlos Kaiser.